I am so tired of talking about whether or not these girls have lost their peach, but Kenya Moore just shared something that pretty much confirms that she will not be a part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and what Sheree has to say about her officially leaving the Real Housewives of Atlanta may shock you. It's Justin Diego, and I am back with another binge-worthy video. And today, let's talk about what I found the most revealing about these shocking announcements from Real Housewives of Atlanta stars Kenya Moore and Sheree Whitfield. Kenya Moore has been in the headlines over the last few months, with many of us speculating often about her miracle pregnancy. And today, the former Real Housewives of Atlanta cast member spilled her own tea on social media, confirming that she's probably not returning to the show for season 11. It all started when a Housewives fan tweeted this post asking Kenya Moore, "Is the queen back?" Kenya responded saying, "Nope, was fired, never offered a friend role, just friend money to do the same job and show my family and baby story. No movement in negotiations, but not to worry, a girl has options just in case." So basically, no, she's not coming back. Today, B. Scott released a story alleging that a source close to production exclusively told LoveBScott.com Bravo executives are demanding Kenya Moore film her pregnancy journey with her husband and stay on a full housewife filming schedule, but punish her by cutting her salary 90% and paying her as a friend of the show. I'm sorry, but 90% is a lot. And Michelle from Straight from the A alleged last year, back in December, that Kenya Moore was making almost $1.5 million to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta season 10. So 90% of that, you guys do the math. I came up with about $150K, and living with the new baby and now she's married, that is a big cut, especially since they're going to be expecting her to do pretty much the same job and film almost just as much. Yeah, if Kenya has decided to, continue to keep these negotiations going, I really can't be mad at her. But at the same time, realistically, we also know that that pretty much means that, she's kind of like done. All the while, Kenya Moore has been saying this whole time that she definitely has options. And I don't know how these contracts work, but I don't know if Kenya will be able to run to another network on another show and give us like a continuation of her Real Housewives of Atlanta experience. So I do have my doubts, but at the same time, I do know that Kenya is good for TV. So she will definitely figure this out. It's not the end of her story. Now, B. Scott also says that those same sources allege that she is still in talks with 3 networks to do a spinoff if Bravo refuses to pay her what she deserves. No one likes receiving bad news like this, but do you think that this is the final verdict, or is this news just one more stunt to get Bravo to move in favor of bringing Kenya Moore back? Shortly after the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 10 reunion wrapped, NeNe Leakes and some of her cast members started hinting at the idea of Sheree Whitfield and Kim Zolciak being exiled from the Real Housewives of Atlanta cast. Because of her alliance with the wrong team, it looks like Sheree Whitfield decided to spill her own tea today on social media this week, revealing that she was not fired, but instead, she too has denied Bravo's unreasonably low offer to have her come back to the new season. She said, "I'm currently living my best life. Was not interested in entertaining the lowball offer that was sent. Know your worth." Now, I was happy to see that Sheree seems to have come to terms with all of this, and she's also getting out in front of this story in a way, right? She gets to control the narrative now, and the last thing she's gonna have is us sitting here on social media or on Bingeworthy talking about who gonna check me, boo, got fired. That wasn't the only thing revealed in this Instagram story by Sheree, so I'm just gonna let that go ahead and play out while I wrap up this video. I just want to say that this tea is clearly not new. I mean, it's been spilled, and it's been spilled from like everybody on YouTube who talks about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I just wanted to share this to give us all some closure. And I think that there are some people who still appreciate hearing tea like this that's coming directly from the housewives themselves. So, are you guys surprised by this tea? I, for one, am a little concerned about the consistency and the story from Kenya and Sheree because, you know, with the low offers being the reason why they're not coming back, like, you know, maybe that will start some trouble with the rest of the girls. Did Nene, Kenya, Cynthia, and Portia also get offered low offers this time? And does that hint at a bigger problem with the show? I may be asking too many questions, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let that go, but I will say this. Bravo, if something's up with our girls, you know we're gonna figure it out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Go ahead and like this video, comment, join the conversation, and if you're still watching, the party does not have to stop because earlier tonight, I called into Straight from the A's live video on YouTube, and I'll be linking that in the bio, and I'll be placing a card. I'm sorry, not the bio. I'm to Instagram right now. I'll be linking that in the description, and you guys can go ahead and watch that video because I called in tonight and we talked about this, and I had a lot to say about Kenya more. So I want you guys to check that out and follow Michelle because her live videos are like goals, and one day maybe I'll go live myself.